really wish I had another mount, but I guess this is how we're going to record this one today. What's up, everybody? I'm Ray tries hard. I don't want to say this is the first episode. I don't even know if this is an episode. This is my peaceful place. So I think what I'm going to do is stop being in my head so much and just ramble a little bit. Overall, it wasn't a bad week. I hope everybody had a good week. A lot of things going on. I need a co-host. I need a partner in this. Like, I feel like it'd be a lot easier. You don't see a lot of people doing like single one-off podcasts about stuff. I need somebody to at least go back and forth. Somebody will be on the other side of the computer at times. You know what I mean? Be on the ones and twos, so to speak. Plug that charger in so that I wouldn't. You see, we got the cap. Appreciate my homie Bernard sending this over from across the pond. We act like we got a sponsorship. But yeah, we had a good week. I was gonna set this green drink down. I honestly know that this green drink isn't gonna be that enjoyable. It's cucumber, kale, spinach, celery, and parsley. But I think that's a good way to end off the week and Sunday. All praise to the Most High. But getting my stomach back in order. I've definitely ate a bunch of bullshit this week. I hit the corner store up 5-6 times, low key. I think to me, the corner store is like kind of just a routine. Especially when I used to like smoke crazy. Or not just smoke in general. Like I'd go down there, get some papers, get like a Pop-Tart, a Swiss roll. All shit that is terrible for you. Fucking strawberry shortcakes, Reese cups, like shit like that. So hopefully this will help get my stomach back a little bit to order. I was thinking about also going on a fast. This is gonna be a boring ass first podcast. I promise you, this is gonna be boring as hell. I'm gonna put this on Ray Tries Harder. I'm not gonna put this on Everything is 40. This is just me, just talking to the camera, just seeing how I feel. Came out here in the yard. I'm going to take the kids to like a state park, or we're going to go hiking or something later on today. So that should be fun. It's kind of a dreary day. We really plan to go to Ohio Pie and bike ride and stuff today. We've been planning it since the beginning of the month because, you know, my nephew's in town. He comes in for the summer, and then my son's back from school. I got the boys. So we was planning to do that today, but the weather isn't ideal for that. So I really don't want to force it. You know, a popular thing to talk about or to say nowadays is, you know, outside is so expensive. And depending on what city you live or what you're into, like, there's a minimum of $100 in most case scenarios to go outside. But even with, you know, taking my kids taking my kids bike riding and just going outdoors, we're going to go out, you know, get a couple bikes. So we need 3 bikes and 2, like wagon things, you know, that the bikes pull. And just even that was like $200. Then you got food, gas, somewhat charging, whatever you want to say it is. But just like outside is so expensive. Everything's so expensive. Yeah, I could kill y'all with the gas jokes, being that I have an electric car, but like I couldn't imagine that. You know, I was talking to some friends earlier, and $70 to fill up their tank. So today's trip, if I was driving a gas car, no matter what, would have been 70. But it's just crazy to see how everything costs so much. And I really be focused, especially on my downtime right now, with trying to spend money on, you know, the most necessary things. The corner store is not one of them, but I feel like sometimes, you know, it's hard to explain. It's kind of like a creature comfort, I would say. where, go down to the corner store, grab a snack. It just feels like, I don't know, it's like a comfort. But that's not doing anything for me. But yeah, outside costs a lot. Comment down below how much you think a minimum to spend outside is. It's so peaceful out here sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, one thing that I love about the location of my home, but I hate, is like how close I am to like the intersection. And a lot of times, I'll hear the motorcycles with the speakers out. That shit's crazy. I hate that. We need to leave that in 2026. I just seen a reel about that. I might put it here. I made a video earlier about the SpaceX IPO. It was short. It wasn't really planned, but I just wanted to throw it out there. I had seen another creator, put up a video like the SpaceX IPO is where it's at. No disrespect to him. He's a hilarious creator, but I know he's not an investor. And I know a lot of people are going to jump into it. It's crazy. I want to get better with these videos, but I told myself at first I need to just get more comfortable on camera in general. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm probably going to post this on YouTube, and I need to start posting stuff on TikTok too. This blue jay just started making a bunch of fucking noise. What else could I talk about? In my own personal life, things are definitely on the up. The PDT rule is about to change. We got some things going. I'm gonna have to set all this stuff up, and I have to be the lead. I gotta reach out to my friends. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. It was unscripted, unplanned, but I told myself I'm gonna try to start getting better at this. Just talking to the camera. Bird is making a wild ass noise. Let me think about something else to talk about, and I can cut it right here. I want to spread positivity. I do. I like good stories. I like hearing about people looking out for each other. I like seeing people win. I mean, of course, there's things I don't like, but I don't want to hone in on things I don't like. I want to spread positivity. I feel like that's the most beautiful thing. Got people that care about each other, people that help one another. It makes me feel like, it's still worth it all sometimes. I need to work on my discipline. I've been so undisciplined this time around. Like, I've taken losses. I've lost everything before. And I didn't really lose everything this time. I lost a lot. And I'm just trying to, build it back up. Sometimes I will have the best plan. And then other times, the plan just isn't planning. Then I let myself get emotionally hijacked about a lot of things. I need to stop that. This episode isn't that good. I don't even know what I'm doing out here. Really? I'm so confused. I don't even know where to begin. I think I come out here sometimes thinking that, like, I'm gonna find the answer in my mind. But then even, like, I guess you get to a point sometimes where you overthink so much that you start to, I don't know, figure it out. I just think that all this stuff isn't as real as I think. Like, I gotta stop tripping. I gotta stop, I don't know. I lost a lot in the last couple years. I lost stuff that can never be replaced. Money's a great foundation, but if you're building on sand, it doesn't mean shit. So, you just gotta recalibrate. We're gonna figure this shit out. I know I am. I thought this was gonna be like a cool podcast episode and shit. I'm over here getting emotional. But I gotta stop waiting to live my life. And I gotta remember those main things. Like, the biggest thing I try to remember, the biggest thing that will always bring me back to being okay, that will remind me that it's not as bad as I think, is the statement, why not me? There are thousands upon thousands of answers to that question. Why not me? But none of the answers sit. None of the answers make sense. So why not me? I remember when I was a kid. It's crazy because I always grew up being like upper poor. I know that's a weird oxymoron, but like, it was always all right. Everything was okay. You know, there was times where there wasn't a lot of food, but I had something to eat. I lived in a good neighborhood. My parents owned their home. My mom owned their home. Dad wasn't really involved. I had a yard. I had friends. I went to a private school. But I was the most financially disenfranchised kid in my neighborhood, in my school, in my friend group. So it was like upper poor. Like, right across the street from me lived a great family. They went to public school. All three of the children went to college. All three of the children were supported, had great family. Like, I no lie, like, I modeled a lot of the father that I try to be on the fathers that I seen in the neighborhood I grew up in. They were well off. They went to Disney World. They took trips. I remember when I was little, I told all my friends I went to the beach, and I was so excited about it. And I remember, explaining it, and eventually, like, the teacher might have asked me where it was. I was like, oh, it's in Erie, PA. Like, that's not a beach. I remember racing in the gym, and I was fast. I was a little bit athletic, nothing special, but I would always, when we raced in the gym, I remember one of the kids was like, he's cheating. I'm like, what are you talking about? He has hospital socks. They got grip. I'm like, Mom, why do I have hospital socks? Why did they say that? Because I took them from the hospital. Like, all these green socks with the rubber on the bottom. Like, I didn't know what to tell. Like, I don't know. Kids joke that, they had to eat lima beans and things that weren't mostly favorable. I figured out later on that like my mom would go to the food bank, and that's usually the canned goods that most people donate. Is like the stuff they don't want, like okra, and lima beans, and shit like that. So it's like I've lived my whole life being somewhat upper poor. So I've constantly fantasized about having. And I think the first time I figured like a hustle out and I had some money, I fucked it up because of that. Because I never had before. And then the second time I had money, I fucked it up because I never had before. The third time, I don't really believe in karma, but the whole aspect of like karma, the past life, like there's so many different definitions of it. But I do believe that like you should put good energy out there, and when I say universe, God and the universe are interchangeable somewhat. And I feel like it just wasn't the time. And I feel like I had a lot of demons. I was self-centered. I wasn't deserving of the gift that God was giving me. I wasn't deserving of that. And now I want it again, and I feel like I'm ready for it. I know I don't get to make that decision, but I want it again, and I feel like I'm ready for it. And there's more on the line. I don't want it for myself. I mean, of course I want it for myself, but like my kids got a lot of activities going on, and I don't want them to be upper poor. I want them to just live life and be happy. I don't want them concerned about what's coming and going. That's my job. There's more times I've lost money than the first and second time. There's been several. I think this time is more real. I'm 37. I have 4 kids that depend on me. They're in activities. I don't want to be a basic dad. I have a son that's in school in another state. I got a son that's aspiring to run track. Another son that wants to play soccer. I have a daughter. I have so much more. Like when my youngest son was just 18, just young, and like we didn't have much going on. There's so much more at stake. But I still fantasize, and I still say, why not me? Why not me? Well, welcome to my TED Talk. I have to drink it like that because it's like not that enjoyable. I think this is the most vulnerable I've ever been on camera. And I didn't even plan for it to be like this. I'll leave it with this one thing. And I think this is the difference between the difference between most of the times that I've had rises and falls. Accepting responsibility. I now accept responsibility more than I ever have. It hurts at times, and sometimes it feels good. But this is my fault. No one's coming to save me. I gotta figure it out. So, this is what it is. This video ended up being 20 minutes, and I ended up making it about myself and not about like the overall scheme of things. But regardless, I think that I'm gonna post this on YouTube and see how it goes. So I appreciate everyone. If you did make it to the end of the video, for listening to me. This is just practice. But I guess it felt good because it was real. And maybe I think I'm gonna start doing this every Sunday. But yeah, Nord on the hat. I really do love this hat though. I ain't gonna lie.